Hello, Zach.
Hello, Aaron.
I have been playing a bunch of Enter the Gungeon. I just did a bad thing just there that I should not have done. They released a big content update that they've been promising for a while this week, and it's available on everything right now, Switch, and I've been playing it mostly on Switch, but PC and everything else. See how that ghost is red? I should not have talked to that altar because it increased my curse, which is my percentage of those terrible red enemies that are super hard, but I will fix that in a little while. But did you ever play this when it came out?
I did not, no. We did a blind spotting on this at one point, and I've been meaning to check it out, but I have not done that yet.
So, Enter the Gungeon was good on its own, but it was hard. Like, there were some things that were a little unforgiving. And a lot of what this content... So, it's like patch 2.0.0, the Advanced Gungeons and Draguns update. And it adds new guns, new items, new enemies, new shrines, new NPCs, new rooms, and like a ton of new secrets. It's just like it's a crazy amount of content, new mini bosses, but also a thing that I'm super thankful for is it has made the game significantly easier in a lot of ways. Like, for instance, it used to be like when a heart would drop in a room, or like a half heart. If you couldn't pick it up, you basically couldn't pick it up. Like, if you had full hearts, you couldn't really do anything with it. You'd come back for it. But sometimes there was a rat who would steal stuff. I forget if he stole hearts. But now, if you drop a heart, I think I do it at some point in this run. You can just it'll say, like, save for later. But yeah, so many things. Like, also, like, so... in adding all the new items and weapons, they've tweaked the loot tables to where in the early game, I think maybe just in general, you're rewarded a lot more frequently. And like there used to be a thing where you maybe weren't able to get keys in the first couple of levels. And so now they're like you're definitely gonna get keys on the first two levels in the shops and whatnot. And just a whole bunch of other things that have, I mean, there's the new loot profile, and they've removed any they've fixed a lot of glitches also, and they've changed some things, but overall I have just been really, really impressed. I had this on PC and I played a little bit, but I picked it up on Switch because I don't know if it still is, but it was half off on Switch, so it's only $7, and so I actually feel like it's a little easier on Switch. They've said it's slightly more balanced to be easier on Nintendo Switch. But I also think it's kind of easier to play with a controller because you can really crank up the aim assist. And so it makes you feel like you're better at the game.
Well, now you can actually use the Switch controller on Steam if you plug it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They've enabled that functionality. There should be a setting in there somewhere in Steam to use a Switch controller.
Interesting. I might have to check that out because definitely playing this on the Pro Controller feels very, very nice. I love the Pro Controller in general. It's one of my favorite.
It's very good
controllers. But just twin stick shooters like this, I love this art style, and they have added there already were a crazy number of guns in this, but I believe there are over 200 guns now, and it's just every run I've had has been very different because of the loot that I've gotten, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is the character that you're playing right now using any sort of special weapons or armor or anything?
Not really. So I'm playing as the Marine. If for those who haven't watched our previous video on this, or maybe don't really know about Enter the Gungeon, you start out with, I believe, 4 playable characters, and each of them have their own little perks and starting weapons. And I'm playing as the Space Marine right now, and he starts with his own little space blaster, and he also starts with an armor, which is super useful. And he starts with an item called supply drop, where you can get ammo. But I've already replaced it with a thing that will give me more health. But I like the Space Marine a lot. There is the Convict, who has a really, really good revolver. I think it's called the Hunter is one, who has a little dog and a crossbow. and I think another revolver, and then the pilot, who is like a space pilot kind of fashioned after Han Solo, who has another kind of space blaster. I just got a new gun. I don't know if actually it's new, but it's a gun that I had not seen before that is called the lowercase R, and it is just a lowercase R, and it shoots letters. It shoots the word bullet, and you can't hear it because we're doing this over Discord, but it's constantly saying the word bullet over and over again as it's firing.
That's kind of crazy.
But I have been having a blast playing this. Like, just like the new loot profile really, really is rewarding. In the past, I would play it, and sometimes you would get super unlucky, and you would be going into this first boss fight with just like starting weapons, and it was like very unforgiving. But every time, I would think almost every time I have played this now, I have been able to do the first boss fight with at least one decent weapon, which is very gratifying and really makes me like come back to it more often.
I was going to ask about the difficulty because we also did a blind spotting on that PlayStation exclusive game. It was a twin stick shooter called Nex Machina that I really enjoyed, and I was curious difficulty wise because that game gets very, very difficult. Would you say it's similar in terms of difficulty?
It definitely is. Like, it teaches you how to play, and you need to be really good. I'm still not very good at it, but yeah, you just have to like be looking at the whole screen, because you have to be looking at what you're shooting at, but also aware of where you are and like in relation to flying around stuff. I have not so the goal of the game is you're entering the Gungeon to find like this gun that can shoot the past, because you're trying to fix a problem from your past. Each character is trying to do that, and I have yet to do that. I have gotten to the final floor once, but I have never like killed the drag gun and gone and done someone's special epilogue mission or whatever. So it's definitely very difficult, but if you put the time in, like I've been playing pretty regularly for 3 days, and I can map my improvement. So if you're somebody who is looking for something to play solidly, and you just like can get a lot of time in this, I think it will be easier for you. But there definitely is a little bit of a learning curve, and you're definitely like trying to figure out secrets, and once you figure out the strategies, I think it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, because
and this is I believe this is a new gun. This is called what is it? That's the lowercase r. Mr. Accretion Jr. This is a crazy gun that shoots replicas of the solar system, and each planet does a different thing. I'm going to use this a bunch in this run.
Wow.
And it is very crazy.
Yeah, that sounds
crazy. I would say, after watching you play that Nex Machina, I would say this is maybe easier than that, because that game had like so much going on.
Yeah.
This like definitely at least starts slow, so you can get your bearings after the first couple floors. But yeah, it racks up in difficulty once you get to like floor 3.
I will say, so Nex Machina was very difficult because there was a lot happening on the screen at any one time, but it was very forgiving in terms of like if you died, you had a lot of restarts available to you. What would you say is the situation with this game if you die?
If you die, I'm going to use this gun. So if you die, you basically, there's like, well, you died. Here's like a summary. Do you want a quick restart with the same character, or do you want to go back to the breach? If you click quick restart, you're playing again in like 10 seconds, and you can just start from floor 1 again. But if you go back to the breach, you can switch characters around. I don't know. So like the progression in this game is obviously like killing your past, but also you notice when the boss died, he dropped those like green looking credits. Those are like hegemony. I don't know how to say that word, but it's like currency, and you feed that to vendors in order to add stuff to the loot table in the Gungeon. So like, and you're also like, I forget if I do it in this run, but you'll find vendors just like in locked cages during runs, or like different weird things will happen, and you have to do something for them, and then they'll start showing up in the starting area and just like increasing different loot stuff. So there's this guy. I hate this guy. He will like increase people's ability to hurt you until you find him, and he like runs away from you, which is not good. But yeah, so like progression in this is basically like collecting those hegemony credits and like increasing the loot table, which increases your ability to win because you're getting more crazier guns. Another really cool thing they did, you see I just picked up an ammo box. Sometimes you get those at the end of game, like rooms, or you get those from boxes. But they did another ammo box. So that ammo box will just refill your current gun. They did another one that will refill all of your guns a little bit, which is super helpful and great.
I like how that guy was just like, "Oh, you're still alive?" Like he can't even believe it. But yeah, I don't know. So you do start basically back from the beginning once you die.
Yeah, it is a roguelike. So the progression is like your ability to increase the loot table diversity. But like once you start completing, like killing people's pasts, different crazy things start happening in the game. And there are a couple unlockable characters, which I won't spoil, but they have very interesting game mechanics associated with them. And one of them is especially really good.
Can you explain it?
I mean, I don't want to ruin it.
Or do you not want to spoil it? Yeah.
Yeah. This is the big iron. This is a really good room clearing gun because it's just like it's kind of like the gun from Ion Maiden because it fires like a bunch of bullets, but it is also a revolver. So I use this a lot to like clear stuff out. But
I was gonna ask, are there any like that are clearly designed based on like movie or other video game franchises?
If there is a famous gun in a movie or like other video game, like 100% it shows up in this game. Like there's a Mega Man hand, there's like a gun from Blade Runner, there's like think of a gun. There's like a Covenant pistol from Mass Effect, or not Mass Effect, from Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems really cool. I don't love roguelikes because I don't like the idea of like playing for a half an hour and then having to start over. And you said that you have only gotten to the end like once.
Yeah, well, so I've only gotten the final level one time, and I believe I was playing with the convict, but I ended up making some dumb plays and dying. It's very easy to get overwhelmed, especially in the later rooms when there's a bunch of stuff going on and people are just like jumping around.
Yeah.
But I still found it very rewarding because during that run, like I killed 3 or 4 bosses. So when I ended that run, I had a bunch of hegemony. I feel like I'm saying that word wrong.
I feel like it's hegemony, but I'm not sure.
Hegemony. I think it probably is hegemony. I had a bunch of hegemony credits, so I was able to go into the shops that are in the main area now and like purchase a bunch of guns to be put into the Gungeon, and that made me want to go back and do another run to see if those guns showed up.
Now
so it's like a loop.
There is co-op as well, correct?
Yes, and which is another great thing, because since this is on Switch, you can there is a character called the Cultist, which if you want to play co-op, I believe that's the character that your friend plays as. And I have not tried it, but I think I am going to. And I am super excited for that because I don't know a lot about it. I don't know if you can like revive each other and stuff, but if you can revive each other and that adds like survivability, that would be super fun.
Yeah, that was a thing I was gonna mention, is that the fact that there is co-op, and you said it was on sale on Switch as well for like $8 maybe?
Yeah, it's usually like 14 or 15, and I think it's on sale for like $7.49 right now or something. It's such a good deal. This is like an ideal Switch game.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, if this is on sale on Switch and there's co-op, that might be the thing that makes me eventually check this out. Because I would play this with you, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. I don't know if we can do like 2 Switches, but like definitely 2, like I feel like it's best to play with 2 sticks. So if you were to do,
oh, for sure, that was the other thing I was going to mention, is that like twin stick shooters, like it's in the title of the genre. Like you need to be playing this with a controller. I've never played one of these games on mouse and keyboard before, but this is the type of game that seems designed to be played with a controller. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
it's counterintuitive, but yeah, like because you get the aim assist a little bit on the controller, it does feel a little easier to play on Switch. Also, like playing it on a huge TV is just like, it's gorgeous because they added like a bunch of scaling. That's another thing they added, is like they added some uniform scaling. So like if you have a super wide computer monitor, it will now like work perfectly, which sounds great. But yeah, look at this great gun. It's doing so much damage because it like one of the planets does like fire damage and one of them does poison damage. So it's just like destroying this ammo conda.
Can you recover health during these like boss encounters?
No. So the only way you can recover health is to find it.
So you're like one hit away from death here.
I am, yeah. But I have some blanks, which are the things that you can just like press and that I just did it, where you can like get rid of all the bullets on screen. And I killed him.
Wow, very good.
I'm going to pick up that token and I'm going to get, yeah, see, and I get some hearts and some ammo, which is nice. And then I got, I don't know what that is. Something. I'm going to look at it right now. It is... This agent technique briefly stuns enemies when tables are flipped. I completely forgot I had that, and I'm not going to take advantage of that for the rest of this run.
How far did you make it in this run?
TBD, you'll see. It'll be a little surprise for you. Not much longer, I'll say. I start to make some dumb plays. But that's the thing about this, is like you can recover so quickly. Like so many runs, this spider is terrible. I think he's a new enemy, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not like super well versed in this game. But yeah, I've had so many runs where like after the first boss fight, I'm at like half a heart. And that's another thing. Like if once you get really good, like a key strategy is not taking any damage during a boss fight, because you get way more resources if you don't get touched during a boss. It's difficult to do, but it's very worth it. But yeah, like I'll come out of like floor 1 with like half a heart and be like, oh man, this run is ruined. But it drops, especially I feel like now the game wants you to win, like it wants to be easier. So it's like giving me half hearts and things. This is a new enemy. This is a crazy like puma with like insane like tendrils that can, I think, make doubles of itself or like go invisible. But this gave me like a lot of problems. But yeah, like it's just like you keep playing and the game throws stuff at you. And more than anything, I feel like, because like, I don't know, I used to play Rogue Legacy a lot, and I feel like I could tell when a run was ruined in that very early on. And with this, it's just like, I want to keep playing. I want to keep finding new guns. Like, I want to get keys, and I want to find secret areas and discover all the vendors and unlock all the characters. It's just like, it's very, very cool, and I feel like it is now balanced to be your friend instead of your enemy.
So how long would you say it would take to complete like one run through of the entire game?
This is another new enemy that I'm not into. I would say, so this room is gonna get rid of my curse, which is nice, but it's not gonna last long. I don't know, like an hour maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe like 2 hours, depending on your stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, for this type of game, it needs to be completable within like an hour or two max, because
I died.
Yeah, because of this, because of the fact that you die and have to start over. So like, if the max amount of time that I have to replay is like, 45 minutes to an hour, like that's doable.
Here's all the characters, the Marine and things like that. Anyway, that was Enter the Gungeon, Advanced Gungeons and Dragons. So check it out. Definitely buy it. Definitely buy it on Switch if you can, because it seems great.
Seems like the place to play.
We'll see you later.
See ya.